Welcome to the Video Game Town Hall meetings. I am your host, Jared Russo, and just by listening, you are a council member. So take a seat, take a sip of water, lean back, and enjoy. I am here with Deputy Commissioner Grant Bruner.
Hello, everyone.
I made up a new job for you this week.
I was the town crier last week.
I heard. That was a great episode. Thanks to Molly, by the way. Shout outs to Molly. You're the best.
Shout out, Molly.
We have a little bit of a loosey-goosey agenda. I wanted to discuss my Poke adventures while on the road, which I still am. I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong Bananza. There have been rumors about more Nintendo Directs. There have been a ton of layoff news. Who knows what we want to get into. So, dealer's choice, Grant. I will let you talk about whatever you want. Anything you've been playing, anything you need to get off your chest, any movies you've seen?
So, I've continued to play Death Stranding 2. It's been good. Things take a turn. A couple hours after, because we streamed it, and I've been pretty busy, so it's not like I've played I haven't put 20 hours into it. I probably put 7-8 hours into it, something like that total. So yeah, the relatively fast. A couple of hours after we streamed, in terms of the game's chronology, some real dark shit happens. is like the big driving force. But I continue to be quite enchanted with Death Stranding 2. A little birdie told me that you finally got around to buying Death Stranding 1. I will continue to bully you to play that.
Oh, you don't need to bully me. So yeah, for some reason, the release of 2 did not signal a sale for 1, because these companies now, they don't care about sales or lowering prices. They only care about pure profits, and they could care less. So on Sony's store, it was full price, and then Xbox was $15. And I was like, well, I have some credit already, so I guess I'll get it on Xbox. So I do own it, but I don't imagine I'll be able to play Death Stranding 2 on anything except for a PS5 going forward.
Yeah, not for a while. Listen, I'm sure that after some number of months, it will come to PC and then come to other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Kojima Productions ended up putting out at least Death Stranding 1 on the Switch too. It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. The question is, you know how older games used to give you incentives for having your save file from previous games, on the memory card?
Yeah.
Is that something with Death Stranding 1 and 2?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, good.
If it is, then it would be deeply hidden and I would not be aware of it.
So there's no... So I guess it's more Metroid. We're going to strip you of your powers at the start.
I mean, you definitely don't have all of your cool stuff, but listen, I think you are more capable, you are more competent at the beginning of Death Stranding 2 than you are at the beginning of Death Stranding 1. I just think that you're more able to not fall over on your ass. Because you spend a significant amount of time in that first game in the early hours being yeah, it's fucking hard to not fall on your ass when you're carrying really heavy shit. But no, those games are good. I obviously have not finished 2, so I can't vouch for everywhere where the story goes, but the core gameplay and the stuff it's joyous. Playing it is great. The cutscenes, obviously there's a cheese factor. It's not like oh man, this is pure great cinematic acting. It's no, it's a cheesy fun Kojima thing. So I'm very much into that. The other thing I put about an hour into, because it was on a Steam sale, and it's one of those games that has reviewed pretty well this year, and it's a strange RPG called Keep Driving. Are you familiar with it at all?
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, so it's an indie game. It's on Steam. I don't think it's on consoles. You're a young person. You're going out on a road trip. You're trying to make it to a festival, I believe is the end goal, and you're driving your car. You're going from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. Have to manage things like your hunger and hey, you have energy, you can't just drive forever, you have to sleep eventually, and then as you're driving through, you're going to have a bunch of events. There will be hitchhikers. Do you want to pick up that hitchhiker or not? Hey, there's somebody driving like an asshole. How do you want to respond to that? And then you have powers that take resources. It's an RPG. You have you have this ability and you have this many, you can burn this many things before your energy is out for the day, and say, okay, how you want to deal with this, this asshole driver. How do you want to deal with this? And then, like, you could have items that could potentially help deal with the effects of the asshole driver. Or let's say you picked up a hitchhiker or something. Maybe they potentially have something that could deal with whatever you're running across. Maybe oh man, there's an accident up ahead, and that's a stressor. Maybe somebody you picked up has a really good way to deal with that. I mean, it seems neat. I wouldn't say that I'm like deeply in love with it. It didn't like immediately like, oh man, I need to see like every single thing this game has to do. But it is enjoyable. It is appealing. And then you get to a node or whatever. You get to the next part of the trip, and then you're kind of drawing your route. And you can definitely route it multiple different ways to get to where you want to be. But overall, keep driving. It's available on Steam. It works like a charm on the Steam Deck. I would recommend the regular price is $18, and it's on sale for about like $16. So yeah, it's good.
In my head, I'm envisioning Pacific Drive, but you said it was 2D because you're going from left to right.
Yeah. It's 2D.
What's the art style?
Pixelated.
Okay, that's what I was like thinking. I was like, it's probably pixelated.
It is. I would say high res pixelated. Like it is pixelated, okay. So like you don't see people's faces, but you see like a good bit of detail in the car. It's not like your car is a blob. Like no, okay, I see this is a truck. I can see like there is an artistic rendering of the swoop on this truck or whatever. Or you see this is like a hatchback and it's a piece of shit. And you can see that, but it is pixel art.
Yeah, nice pixelation, not necessarily like Mina the Hollower, we're going to emulate the Game Boy original graphics.
Yeah. It is stylized to be pixelated, not just a blob of pixels.
And are you going to a music festival or a Midsommar death cult festival?
I think it's like a music festival.
Okay.
I don't think the vibe is some dark demon shit is happening. I think this is much more like, not to say that it is like completely like a realism simulator, but like it's set in a realistic setting where you're driving around and real things happen.
You have cool cartoons. Get to turn on the radio.
I don't think that I saw a radio, but then I also exactly when you said that, I'm on the Steam page and then started blaring the trailer. Which is funny. But no, I don't think that there is any cartoons, but there is stuff like you could definitely like, hey, your tire could blow out. Like do you have a jack? Do you have a spare? Like if you don't, you're pretty fucked. And I do think one of the interesting things is when you're building your character, you have it's not like wildly in depth, but you have some stuff you can build your character from when you start. And there's a slider that has like 5 steps of like, hey, what's your relationship with your parents like? Is it good? Is it bad? And I think that is basically a difficulty slider. So it's like, and it says underneath of it, it's like, hey, having a good relationship with your parents could really help you out in a pinch. So I think that like, if you get totally fucked, like I don't have any money, I am out of gas, or like my tire is blown out and I don't have a thing. I think that if you have like indicated to the game, I have a good relationship with my parents, they can bail you out. Where if it's like, no, I don't talk to my parents, like it's all the way on the other side, it's like, hey man, you're fucked.
That's clever. That's actually it kind of reminds me of, what was it, Starfield, where it's like there's a perk where it's like I'm a mommy's boy, or like like I love my parents, and like they'll like show up to like the lodge or whatever.
Like have a relationship with them. Yeah. I always thought it was interesting in Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, you can because you pick from like 3 different backgrounds for Shepard. One of them is like, yeah, your parents like are alive, and if you pick that background, you have like a future Skype call with your parents, and then they're like, now Shepard, I'm busy in the fucking space military.
I don't think I have ever seen or heard Shepard's parents. I might need to YouTube that because I've never done that on my playthroughs. Okay, that's fascinating.
It exists. That's all I've been playing in terms of watching. I finished the most recent series of Taskmaster. I don't know if you've ever watched Taskmaster, but it is some incredible television.
It seems like something I would really love, and
it's all on YouTube.
Oh man, that's a good sell.
Just watch it wherever, man. Like you don't need to be logged in or anything. You just youtube.com and then go to Taskmaster. I want to say all 19 seasons on the British one, which is the like Taskmaster Prime. But there's also like the Australian version and the New Zealand version are also on the YouTube page, and they're great too. Maybe skip the first New Zealand season; it's pretty rough, but everything else is really good. And then especially like the British Taskmaster, just absolutely fantastic. Jason Mantzoukas, he's on. Yeah, so he was on the most recent season. He's the first American that they flew out. Like they've had
Nice.
people who are like Americans or Canadians, but those are people who live in the UK who happen to be from North America. Where he's the first one that they actually flew out to like go in and be on the show, and he is exceedingly chaotic, which is exactly what you want.
Yes.
He did a great job. Also, it was like the second episode, and I'm like, he's gonna do a USA chant if he ever wins an episode. And then he wins an episode like five episodes in or something like that, and he immediately starts doing the USA chant, and I'm like, yep, no, I exactly called how this was going to go, and it is exactly what I wanted.
He always plays a perfect chaos goblin. He's on The Good Place and Parks and Rec, and he's in 1,000 things. And
Brooklyn
he's always
Nine-Nine.
Oh yeah.
But I've also heard him on podcasts like Blank Check, where he is not in character, and a totally reasonable, normal person who actually was a pretty good guest.
What movie did they bring him on for?
Oh, fuck, he's been on a couple. I will look it up. I think he did one on his own, and I think he's done 2 with Paul Scheer.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas are like the perfect level of famous. Like, this is how I would wield my like D level fame. Is like, I want to be on a cooking show. Like, I want to be tasting a cooking show, and like I want to be on somebody. Hey, I like this podcast. I'm gonna call him up and say, have me on your podcast.
Yeah, that's like Drew McGarry, the head of Deadspin now Defector. Like, he used his D-list fame to like show up on like Top Chef or something, like just because he was like,
that fucking
I like
rules.
this.
That's the best possible fucking way. Okay, so he has been on 3 main feed episodes. Okay, he was with Paul Scheer on all 3. Used Cars, Big Trouble in Little China, and Last Action Hero.
Okay, I've listened to Big Trouble and Last Action Hero, so yeah, I have heard him on. I just completely forgot. I remember Paul Scheer, though.
And then he is on their Patreon side. He also did Tomorrow Never Dies by himself, which is what I was thinking of.
You know, now that makes me want to go to the Patreon and listen to that episode.
I didn't know you were a blankie, Jared.
Yeah.
I think it's wild that we have known each other, and I have listened to so much Blank Check. I think I've listened to basically every episode. I don't think you and I have ever one time ever talked about Blank Check.
Not once. I don't listen to every episode because there are movies I haven't seen that I'm like, well, why? I can't listen to you talk about it because I haven't seen it. So I'll save those.
I almost prefer it, which is why I end up listening to them a lot when I like let a lot of video game podcasts skip by, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen this week. Is because I have a bunch of opinions about video games. And there are a bunch of movies that I'm like, oh, I've never seen that. They can talk and have any opinion they want on this, and I'm not going to feel any way about it.
But then you like get it spoiled, or like, I don't know.
Jared, spoilers do nothing to me.
I know,
I have never one time given a shit about spoilers. It just has no impact on me, which is the way to live.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've done it both ways, and I'm not quite sure what I enjoy, like seeing the thing and knowing nothing, or reading everything about it and then going in. I feel like it's like both are fine.
Yeah, I do think that both are fine, which is to say that, like, if I see a thing and I don't like Sinners, like, I basically knew very little about Sinners before I saw it. So, like, when a bunch of stuff happened, like, Buddy Guy was there, and I'm like, oh, well, fucking I love Buddy Guy! Oh my god, Buddy Guy, that's cool! But it's like, if I had read, hey, Buddy Guy is there, I would be like, well, fuck, I want to go see Sinners, because I want to see Buddy Guy. Like, it doesn't, I'm not negatively impacted by it.
Yeah. You were talking about a game you bought on Steam. I bought a game on Steam, and I reviewed it for the website. It is from a YouTuber who I think is maybe one of the best, if not the best YouTuber in terms of talking about video games. It's Mark Brown of Game Maker's Toolkit, and he has now made 2 games after sort of hosting some indie game jams, where he would like do series on different mechanics, and then he would ask the community to make little demos based on that mechanic he was talking about. And then he made a game about magnets, and then he just published his second game, which is essentially Scrabble meets Balatro, called Wordplay. And it's $7, and it's great.
I mean, listen, it's an incredible pitch. I didn't dislike Balatro. I think Balatro is fine. Like, obviously, I didn't go sicko mode like you went sicko mode, but I'm like, I was successfully convinced to play Balatro, and I said, like, yeah, I had a good time. But then you say Scrabble, and I'm like, well, now Scrabble, this is my shit. I'm all about Scrabble. My wife and I had like an ongoing digital Scrabble game for like fucking like most of a decade.
One game or a series of games?
It's a series of games, but it's like, okay. You know, like you finish it and then you start the next game.
Yeah. That would have been a a weird, intense, forever Scrabble game that just goes on
forever
infinitely.
Scrabble. It's a huge board, just an enormous board.
Yeah. So I would say you can't go sicko mode with wordplay because there's not enough to it. And the perks, the sort of like, oh, you beat this level, here are 3 options. They're not like exciting or interesting enough. And I feel like that's sort of like the main hook of roguelikes. But this is a great, fun little game. It does exactly what it promises. It's just, this is an ingenious little thing that you can have a blast with for $7. I hope it's coming to mobile. He made a video basically being like, I made this game in a couple of months, and as I was making it, I found out 2 other people were making the same thing, but they did it differently. So he contacted them, and he'll be doing a little mini series on like the other games that are also Wordle / Scrabble meets Balatro, because he's like,
that's neat.
He's like, oh, should I be afraid that like they're gonna steal my idea? And then he saw what they were doing, and it was like not quite.
Oh no, it's entirely different. Like yeah, they're about words, but other than that, like.
But he was also like
honestly,
relieved.
I think that I think that like that is kind of like when you're inspired by a game, and you're not just trying to rip off the game, but you're like, oh man, this, by playing this thing that's really interesting and creative, that makes me feel creative, and I can say, okay, well, I played this, and then now I want to build a thing that's like different in these ways. Then like, yeah, of course, like you're going to go and do things that like nobody is doing, because it's like, yeah, you're in the creative process, instead of just like, which so many video games, especially on the mobile side, are just like, well, fuck it, do what they did to see if we can get trick people into playing our game. Yeah.
He was almost more relieved. He was like, oh, I'm a part of an emerging subgenre, and it's, oh, they did that, I did this, and it was like they all got along, because it seemed like, I wrote about this in the review, like when Vampire Survivors came out, people wanted to rip off Vampire Survivors, and now they're evolving it and emulating it, and there's like a subgenre, but no one's come close to Vampire Survivors, and I feel like no one is going to come close to Balatro, but this is definitely like a way better Balatro knockoff than I have ever seen a Vampire Survivor garlic-like knockoff.
Yeah, and also, like, I think, especially if this is like, hey, I'm, a full-time YouTuber and a part-time game dev, then it's that he spends like 8 months or whatever making this game and puts it out for, what is it, $8, something like that. Not very expensive. And then you go, okay, well, what would I do different another time? And then like you make Wordplay 2, and then you make that way better. You build off of what you did, and you blow it out the next time.
I would actually like to see like someone take what he did and like keep that going. Where like, I know there's like a PopCap game. Was it Bookworm?
Oh yeah, I love Bookworm.
Yeah, he was inspired by Bookworm. So it's like, I want to see people take like those PopCap games, the early ones, like Feeding Frenzy and Zuma's Revenge and stuff like that, and like ratchet those up in the way that Castle Crashers is the ultimate like side-scrolling beat 'em up. And like, no one's ever come close to Castle Crashers. I'm like, why don't you take that and keep that going? Like, I don't know. Maybe we should be making games. Who knows?
Well, also, what if PopCap was allowed to make games again?
No, they are in EA jail. Which, by the way, EA killed Need for Speed. They're like, we're not making any more Need for Speeds. We're done for now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, eventually they take it off ice. But yeah, certainly none in the near future.
They were making
they're in the Battlefield mines, right?
Oh,
well,
yeah. But like, they were making bad Need for Speeds the last few years, and it's just like, maybe they just got sick and tired of that.
Yeah. I mean, the last Need for Speed game I played was at the PS4 launch. I played that one, and that was pretty good.
I couldn't even tell you or remember what the hell that even was.
I mean, the thing about Need for Speed is, like, as somebody who's not like a car nerd, games like that are more like, hey, you're doing wild bullshit when you're racing, like, that is more appealing to me than like Forza Motorsport, where it's just like, hey, do you have an erection for cars?
Yeah, see, I don't have an erection for cars, but it feels like the industry 20 years ago, like, racing was like a very prominent genre where like Game of the Year, like, contenders would come out of that. And it was like, you had tons of Twisted Metals and Full Auto, but you had Gran Turismo's, Project Gotham Racing, Wipeout, Ridge Racer, Driver, and then my favorites, because my brother's a huge car nut. And so we would play, and I would fall in love with Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, or Underground, the Burnout game, games like Midnight Club. There was a ton, and now there's nothing. There's no more Forza, only Horizon. That's it. There's no more racing games.
Well, and then like Gran Turismo, like every fucking once a decade they put out a Gran Turismo game.
It's insane. Like, how hard is it to get these car licenses that you have to like delete Forzas off the store? It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, it is weird. I don't love that. I don't love the like, well, it would cost us money to do this, so throw it away.
If it doesn't have Sonic or Mario in it, we don't need to do that.
But even then, like, can you even buy those Sonic and Mario like at the Olympic Games anymore? Probably not.
Oh, I don't even know about the Olympic Games. I was just referring to the kart racers. It seems like if you don't have a Sonic or Mario kart racer, you're not making a racing game.
They don't make. They also don't make Olympic Games anymore, which sucks.
You know what? I would venture a guess to say that Roblox and Fortnite probably have racing things within them, or GTA Online, and it's like that's all people care about now is their skins that they already have in either Rocket League, Fortnite, GTA Online, or Roblox, and there's no reason to make another game because it's like, I already
games
have
are bad.
These platforms.
I want to buy new games.
People don't want to buy new games anymore, Grant. They just want to spend microtransaction money.
I want new games. Give me new games.
No,
the industry same game forever is bad.
But that's what everyone wants.
Tell me about your Poke adventure.
Okay. So I was on quote-unquote vacation in the middle of nowhere, Montana, on a ranch. And the only access I had to video games was my Switch 2. And I played some World of Goo 2, which is fine. And I was trying to come up with something to do. And my fiance had started Pokemon Scarlet. And I was like, well, let me dabble into some Pokemon Scarlet. And I found myself catching and grinding and leveling and getting super deep all over again into Pokemon Scarlet years after I had originally played it, because it is now a functioning video game. And that makes a world of difference when there are no frame rate issues. There's no texture pop-ins. Things can load. Things like Pokemon are in the distance. There's no weird draw distance nonsense. It just like played and it ran like butter and it looked good enough. And I sort of got absorbed into it to the point where like we have the DLCs and they have all the old starters and all the old legendaries. And I was like, is this the best Pokemon game? Like I kind of got Pokemon pilled again because I had nothing to do.
So you're a little freak for Pokemons?
Well, it's sort of like a collaboration between us because she had never really played the games before, and I introduced her to Let's Go Pikachu, which is a remake of the original, but with like easier catching mechanics and no random battles and a number of quality of life improvements that they should keep going. And Scarlet is the closest to that, where you still have to get into a battle to catch. It's not like Arceus where you have to like aim your Pokeball or whatever. But this is going to get me kind of going into Pokemon ZA, where it was like, I've played every mainline Pokemon and a number of the spin-offs, but this is the first time I was like, maybe since the original, where I was like, oh yeah. Oh, I'm a freak. A game freak.
You're a game freak now. Yeah. Exactly.
Isn't that interesting how that just happens?
Yeah, it is weird. Or, you know what? I get it with Star Wars, where, like, obviously, like, listen, I love Star Wars. And I've loved Star Wars since I was a little kid. But I'm certainly in I'm in a Star Wars down mode and have been for a while. But it will be like, I will then be like, well, what if I watched episode 4? Or, like, what if I watched the prequels? And then my brain will just be like, fucking Star Wars is so good! Everybody, do you realize how good Star Wars is? And then I will just be in that mode for a while. And then eventually something will kick me out. I'll think about how bad Star Wars is now, and then I'll be in a bad mood and not be in Star Wars anymore. But I understand the like, oh man, I am now frenzied. I'm in a berserker state.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if you want to be like, oh my god, Star Wars and get right back into it, Andor does that to me.
I watched
like, everything sucks.
I've watched the first half of the first season, and it was fine. I will continue. I will watch the second half of the first season.
Wait. Where are you?
Oh my god, dude! It's been like a month. I don't remember. Let me bring up like Andor.
Because I think they're in 3 episode arcs.
Like, yeah, because it's like they did the thing, like they did the fucking thing, and then like
the cool heist.
Yeah, the heist happens, and then he like fucks off.
to the planet that looks like Miami?
I haven't been to Miami, but like it's like it ended on him being like, "I'm leaving," because it's like he turns traitor or whatever, or like he like an assassin happens and he kills the assassin.
Oh, played by Eben Moss Baccarat. Yeah.
Sure, and then he's like, well, "Fuck this! I'm out of here," or whatever, or like you give me a ship and I'm leaving or whatever, and then whatever. The rest of my life happened.
Okay, so they do these 3-episode arcs where it's almost like mini movies, and the next one coming up for you is the thing that made people go, "Oh my god, Andor's the best show ever," and it's
because I'm very meh on it so far.
Okay, if once you start the next arc where he goes to this planet, it's like a Miami planet, and then there's like a whole thing on like fascism, that like it finally gets him like radicalized. Oh my god, dude, that show kicked into overdrive, and it doesn't stop until it ends in season 2. Oh,
and is season 2 the last of them? Does that go into Rogue One?
It goes right into Rogue One.
Okay. So I will say the thing that has gotten me the most is as a Star Wars freak. The thing that has appealed to me is I'm like, oh, this is like there's like, I don't even know if it's the B plot or like a C plot, but like there's Mon Mothma doing shit. Like she's doing politics shit. And I'm like, fucking, I love Mon Mothma, because like Mon Mothma has like all of like
how much time do I have?
25 seconons in the movies. Like very little Mon Mothma, but in terms of like the EU, Mon Mothma is like a major, very important character. Like is like one of the things that like the rebellion like pivots on is her work and like her doing like secret shit in the Senate. So like she's a very important character, but like until like the recent years, only like hyper dorks could tell you who the fuck Mon Mothma is. Like when Mon Mothma, I feel like at some point Mon Mothma was on screen for something, and I'm like pointing at it. I'm doing the "that's Chappie" meme. She
was in episode 3, right?
Maybe. I'm like, that's Mon Mothma. That's fucking Mon Mothma.
I think she's at the end of episode 3 with Jimmy Smits, and
then she's in. Is it 5 or 6? She's in one of the original movies.
Oh yeah.
But like barely. Like she is there and she says like 4 words or whatever. Like she exists as an entity, but is given almost no screen time.
So they found an actress who looked like the original for episode 3, and then I think they brought her back for Andor, and I think it's the same actress who's a dead lookalike. I do
like that. I do like the people that they cast for like the prequels, being like, no, well, hey, come back, we'll pay you fucking money.
Yeah, I think it's like a dead lookalike, and she gets fleshed out in Andor seasons 1 and 2. So you find out way more about her life and how the Senate works and her family, and the sort of like, what is she willing to sacrifice like for this rebellion? Like, is she ready to burn not only her career on fire, but like, is she ready to like abandon key family members who are like such in the industrial pipeline of like empire money? Like, like how much is she willing to forego?
And in that's the EU in the EU that's now been jettisoned, been set on fire by Disney. Like she was like the first like galactic leader. Like once like the rebellion was successful and the empire fell, like Mon Mothma was like the first president.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, so she's like, so like my point being is like I have additional, besides just that's a character from those movies, I have additional affection for Mon Mothma as a character. So I will say the best part of watching the first 6 episodes or whatever of Andor is, hey, Mon Mothma's there. That's cool.
She sure is, and you'll be getting a lot more of her. All right. Do you want to talk about the really sad layoff news? Because I don't.
No. Also, like it will have by the time this runs, but we can't do 2 things that are too topical because like it'll be a while after. So layoffs continue to happen. It's bad.
There's a Nintendo Direct allegedly happening later in July, so like this episode will go up and there will still be rumors about it. I know there's a Pokemon Direct showing Pokemon ZA gameplay, but I've just been in DK mode since last night, dude. I've been playing a ton of DK.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Is I got off work and had to do a bunch of bullshit before we recorded this podcast, but I have pulled the trigger, purchased, and downloaded Donkey Kong Bananza. So it is sitting on my Switch 2, and we're recording this before streaming, doing the Donkey Kong stream. I'm going to try, I also have other work to do tonight, but I'm going to try to play as much as I can so I can be prepped so that we can stream. And by the time you're hearing this episode, if you go to our YouTube page, if you just search for Video Game Town, or you go to videogame.town and click the YouTube button, you'll see us playing. Me and Jack Miller will be playing Donkey Kong, and we're gonna try to get him set up for the multiplayer mode, and see if that works. And maybe it won't, and I'll just be doing single player. But you'll know, youtube.com.
I don't know how that co-op's gonna work, because you don't get Pauline at the start. Like, you have to go through the tutorial, which is kind of long and maybe not great. And then the whole first, like, level or two, like the first, like, world, and then you get her. So it's like, how are you going to do co-op if you, like, don't have her?
Well, I'm going to try to get as far as I can tonight and see if I can get it in time for the stream.
I mean, good luck to you. I have been writing down a litany of notes, and almost all of the notes are the small nitpicks I have, because I'm trying to, like, justify that this game is not a 10 out of 10. IGN, I'm sorry. Like, I'm playing it and I really like it. It's fucking great.
Don't be a fucking weirdo, Jared.
I'm having a ton of fun,
like,
but it's not
game.
It's not a 10 out of 10. It's just not.
Who cares? No, scores are stupid.
I know scores are stupid, but if they're going to say it's a masterpiece and it's perfect or whatever, like...
10 out of 10 never means perfect. There's no such fucking thing as a perfect video game. Like, if the bar is perfect, then there are no perfect games. No.
Tetris is perfect. Yes.
No, it's fucking not. Like, there is not a version of Tetris that is perfect.
Tetris DS.
What oh, that's just like a generic sequel to whatever, and like, oh, there's small tweaks, but oh man, this is a game from the fucking 80s or whatever.
Tetris DS. No, you're right. I understand that, but when I was watching their video review, they would mention things, and I was like, this doesn't sound like a 10. Like it almost like the text did not match the score. I was like very shocked at that.
I don't know.
That's a me problem.
Point being, I don't care about the scores, man. This game seems like it's good, and like
it is.
When they first announced it, I was like, this seems fine. Like, I'm not like a enormous Donkey Kong person, so I was like very, very mildly disappointed that it was not like the next big fuck off Mario game. And I was like, oh, I wish it was Mario, but this seems fine. And then they started doing more gameplay videos, and I'm like, actually, this looks pretty fucking cool. And so, like, as time has gone on, I've gotten more excited. And then the reviews dropped, and it's like pretty much like across the board, people really like this game a lot. And so, like, I'm very excited to jump in.
It is extremely good. It is very Mario Odyssey. Like, it is from that team. You can tell immediately. I think Odyssey
Jared,
is
do you know what game is really good?
Mario Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey is really fucking good.
It's one of the good. It's not as good as Odyssey, I don't think, because I could see it getting repetitive down the line, because there isn't the hat and the new enemies and new worlds. It's just a lot of, like, you're constantly just punching through fucking rocks. And, like, that's great. But, like, by hour 20, am I going to be sick of punching through rocks? Whereas with Mario Odyssey, it was like, guess what? There's a moon planet, and now you're in Mario 64. And they were always tossing new things at you to, like, put your hat on to become. Whereas
Odyssey
this, it's just
is
like...
game... Go ahead.
No, you go.
Odyssey is the game that convinced me to buy a Switch in the first year, because it's like when the Switch 1 launched, I was like, okay, I mean, like, I'm sure I'll buy it eventually, but like, they're launching with the Zelda game that I can already play on my Wii U because I'm one of the 3 people that has a Wii U. So It was like, I don't know if I need this. And then, like, as Mario got closer and closer, I was like, well, okay, I guess I think I'm gonna buy a Switch because I want to play Mario.
Well, tariffs are the reason I bought a Switch 2.
No, I mean a Switch 1.
Oh, yeah, no. Video games are the reason you buy a Switch 1. Potential price hikes are the reason you buy a Switch 2.
For sure.
I don't think it is on that level, but it is still really good. And I've played almost every Donkey Kong game that has ever been created, minus DK3 or the math one. So I am a Donkey Kong person.
You play the Game Boy versions.
Yep, I have the Game Boy versions, all the countries, the remake, the new ones, all of them.
Where do you land on DK64?
I remember liking DK64 as a child. I bet you as an adult, it is probably the worst thing ever made.
I will say, I think that there is some inherent appeal of having multiple Kongs to play through, but certainly much of that gameplay design, I think, is very frustrating.
Yeah, I can't envision ever going back to it. If they put it on the N64 like NSO thing, I'll dip into it, but it does seem miserable from all the footage I've seen of other people playing it, especially Dan Reichert.
But burgle my bananas.
Burgle my bananas.
But okay. So tell me, like you're punching rock. That this is my understanding is you're mostly beating the shit out of the environment.
So like I would say like half of the gameplay is like there's like a mountain and there's like hidden stuff inside the mountain, so you're just like punching your way through. And the other half of it is like platforming and like collecting things and going to the shop and buying new outfits and like, you know, checkpoints and they still have those Mario Odyssey, like you walk into a door and you're just in like a little isolated like challenge and you have like 30 seconds to do a thing and then you get a moon and then there might be another hidden moon. In this case, it's a banana. And then every 5 big bananas you get a skill point and you can like upgrade your punching power or your sonar to go further, or you get like a, you know, like you're getting like upgrades. And I'm having a lot of fun. For me, it is not as fun to like look at this like big open plane and be like all the hidden stuff's underneath. Whereas in Mario Odyssey, it was like you didn't have to find the stuff. It was everywhere. Whereas this, it's like I really hope you love digging your way down and like, you know, like to the cave underneath that's hidden.
I kind of do. Okay. Have you ever played a digging game? I fucking love digging games. SteamWorld Dig?
There's some Mr. Driller stuff in this game, and it's like, oh, I love Mr. Driller. You know, that's fun. But there's like frame rate issues and some camera problems when you're like within caves or you're like in like small areas or it, like you don't know where you're going, you can't see where you are, and it's like hard to like navigate. And the opening is not great. Like it's just a lot of just like I'm collecting things. I don't know why I'm collecting them. I don't know where I'm going. Like it hasn't like fully introduced like you can kind of like start like hitting buttons and like figuring things out like hours before they like formally introduce them to you, whereas like you can just hit like one of the L's to roll, and then like by the third major world it's like, did you know you could roll? I'm like, yeah, I did, but you didn't tell me that before. Like that would have been smart of you to have done that. Where Mario has all these things that he can do and they kind of let you know right up front, and with DK it's like it's more limited because it's just like smash up, smash forward, smash down. So again, it's a really great game. It is not Mario Odyssey. It doesn't have the music. It doesn't have the level design. But it is a great one of those.
I will say, hearing that there are so many costumes retroactively makes me more angry at Super Mario Kart World for only having one fucking outfit. They better patch in more outfits like tomorrow.
They will not, because this is Nintendo. They don't care.
Donkey Kong needs put my guy in a zoot suit.
Zoot suit riot. Doo-doo.
Or like pajamas or a space suit. Donkey Kong needs to be in a silly outfit. And it's great that Donkey Kong Bonanza puts Donkey Kong in silly outfits, but it is infuriating that you cannot put him in silly outfits in Mario Kart World.
Only that weird, stupid, all-terrain, heavy armor thing.
That's no good. I need him to be dressed as like a dinosaur or something. Like make him do something silly, or make him dressed as Petey Piranha. Like give me fun Donkey Kong dress up.
Nope, please buy our next game. Capitalism.
In 10 years.
Speaking of capitalism, let's play a game inspired by the Pokemon discussion from earlier. Is the following term I'm about to give you the name of a Pokemon or a pharmaceutical drug?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's start off with some easy ones, okay? Matang.
Pikachu.
No, Matang.
I mean, Matang sounds like a Pokemon. Not
it,
like
it is.
If you're also Matang also sounds like it would be a street drug. Like I'm on that Matang. I'm smoking that Matang.
No, it is a third generation Steel Psychic.
Okay.
Geodon.
Sure. That's a Pokemon?
It is an anti-psychotic.
Okay. Sometimes your Pokemon need antipsychotics. Listen, Pokemon need mental health care, and I think that that's an important part of our world. Like, we need single-payer healthcare for our Pokemon.
Nurse Joy gives the Geodon to Geodude.
Yeah.
Rescriptor.
That's a Pokemon.
That is an HIV medication.
Okay, well, fucking that's rad. Let people live if they have HIV. Good on them for making drugs for HIV.
Fusion.
That has to be a Pokemon.
That is also another HIV medication.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is HIV drugs are very Pokemon-like. I think I might just end up answering Pokemon for all of these, I guess.
Heatran.
That sounds like a drug.
That is a 4th generation Fire Steel.
Okay.
Navan.
Drug.
That is an antipsychotic drug, yes. I'm actually not even writing down whether or not you're doing well, but so far...
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Altaria.
That's a drug.
That is a 3rd generation dragon flying type.
It's also boner pills.
Clastion.
It sounds like a Pokemon. I'm gonna go Pokemon.
It is bone cancer medication.
Well, you don't want bone cancer. Is the one thing I'll tell you.
Aeon.
Pokemon.
High blood pressure medication. Numal.
I mean, it sounds really stupid. I really don't want it to be a Pokemon, so I'm gonna go drug.
It is a 3rd generation fire ground that looks like a little camel, because he evolves, and then he evolves into Camelrupt, who has like a volcano on his back, or like 2 humps.
Now, see, Camelrupt, that's a name. Numal is bad.
I don't know what to tell you. Tygasil.
Drug.
Antibiotic, that is correct. Rosarim.
Because you tripped over it, I'm going to go drug.
Yeah, it's for sleeping. Yeah, you got me. Absol.
Drug.
3rd generation dark type. Nincada.
What's its shape? Whoa, what's that? What's that fucking guy name? What's his name?
Absol?
Yeah, what does it look like?
Absol.
Oh, okay, you don't know what it looks like. I got to look up Absol Pokemon.
It's like a white thing on 4 legs.
You?
It's a quadrupedal mammal.
So yeah, it's like a cat or like a dog or something. Also, Fun fact: Anbesol is a drug. Because I was searching for it, so it's pretty close to a real drug.
I should have written that down. That would have been good. Nincada.
Oh, that can't be a drug. Pokemon.
It is a 3rd generation bug ground.
Bug ground. There's too many types. They need like 5 types, and then they get rid of a bunch of types.
There's a lot of types, and a lot of Pokemon have 2. So it'll be like Steel Fairy, or
Steel is a terrible type. Get rid of that bullshit. Give me
Steelix.
Onyx
turns into Steelix.
5. Give me like 5 of them.
No.
Fuck all the rest.
There's dark, there's ground, there's steel, fairy, dragon, ice, poison, ghost.
But also, isn't it different in the card game is different than the video game? Like there are different types, and like the same Pokemon will have different types in the in the video games versus the card game.
I couldn't tell you. That might be true, because over the years they've had to change things, because they introduced fairy quite late, so they had to go back and retroactively be like, okay, Jigglypuff is a fairy type now, or like Clefairy is a fairy type, instead of just being normal.
It's right
type.
in the name.
I know. And the final one is Aranesep.
Ooh, I'm gonna go drug. That is really clunky. So if they did that as a Pokemon, Game Freak gets an F-.
It is anti-anemia. I was going to say amnesia. Okay. It's anti-anemia. All right, good job. I'd say you got around 50% of those.
Probably a little less. I want to say probably I got a third.
Let's just say that you got 40%, and end the podcast by saying you can follow our work on all social media platforms, YouTube and Twitch, and hopefully someday Patreon, TikTok, Instagram, videogame.town or videogame.town.
Yeah, videogame.town is where you're going to find all of them. If you just head over up the top of the banner on the website, you can find all our cool stuff. Please rate our podcast wherever you get it. If you get it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever. If the podcatcher you use has a way to rate us, please do so. Please rate us 5 stars, leave a review, and then also check us out on YouTube. We try to stream at least once a week, potentially more as the days go on. Like I said, our stream will be up by the time you hear this for Donkey Kong, so if you're interested in our thoughts on, or at least me and Jack's thoughts on Donkey Kong, you can check that out there. And then we try to stream usually around 7 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, but it's not a set thing. Sometimes the schedule will falter, but definitely check us out on Twitch and YouTube.
And I'm working on all sorts of fun stuff for the website. Are you working on anything you'd like to tease for the audience?
Well, I will say, I have written some stuff. The one that I most recently published as we're recording this is 5 GameCube games Nintendo must put on Switch 2.
Wear the nice shirt?
I think that is something like if you want to get mad that these games have been in video game jail for like 2 decades now. I think that's a good piece. Also, feel free to comment if you'd like. I will name one of the 5, and that is SSX3 that needs to be on Nintendo Switch Online.
You know, I wrote this thing that I wanted to be a series called Remake, Reimagine, or Remaster, and you end up naming all the headlines, like you do all that stuff, and I was like, duh, now he's on my turf, or he's doing what thing should be on GameCube NSO, because I have all these ideas for like games that should be like brought back in some way, and I'm like, Beautiful Joe, so like now it's like, are we competing to write about these games?
I don't think so. I think you should write about Beautiful Joe. There's no reason for you not to write about Beautiful Joe. I think the more times we write about Beautiful Joe,
the better.
The more we are bullying Capcom into bringing back Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, those are good. I actually tried to replay Okami, and it didn't hold up.
No, I played it when they did, I want to say a PS4 release, and I was like, this is fine.
I remember really liking that.
Just really starved for Zelda likes at the time.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Meeting adjourned. I don't have my gavel. And we will see you next week for more shenanigans.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.